According to the White House, there's nobody in charge of DOGE. You know, that agency that has a team lead embedded in every other agency in our government, the one that is combing through our data, our Social Security, our IRS, stopping payments to USAID, now evidently going into our FAA system. Well, a lot of MAGAs liked that. They thought it was okay. You know, they liked even the fact that Musk was in charge of all that. They thought his billionaire tech status gave him the know-how, the ability to comb through all of our data, never mind the fact he was doing it without any checks or balances, or the fact that there was a lot of congressional acts he was violating doing it. Well, hate to break it to them, but according to the White House, Musk isn't in charge of DOGE. He's not even an employee of DOGE. And the White House hasn't said who, in fact, then is its administrator, despite the fact that the January 20th executive order that created DOGE by essentially merging it into the existing Digital Services Office said specifically it needed an administrator. And the White House at the time, or no time since then, has named an administrator. All of us in the American public thought that it was because it was pretty clear he had named Musk as an administrator. After all, November 12th, he issued that statement saying he was creating DOGE and that he was going to be the head of it. Elon Musk, the great Elon Musk, was going to be heading it with Vivek Ramaswamy. As we know, Vivek Ramaswamy dropped out. And Trump repeated these claims. He said it again in December. He said it again in January. And both Musk and Trump have been acting as if Musk was the head of DOGE. They acted like that in their press conference when Trump referred to him as the lead of DOGE. In fact, take a listen to how Trump referred to evidently this person, Musk, who now they're saying isn't even involved with DOGE.
And also, could you mention some of the things that your team has found, some of the crazy numbers, including the woman that walked away with about 30 million?
Right.
Etc.
Well, we do find it sort of rather odd that there are quite a few people in the bureaucracy who have ostensibly a salary of a few $100,000, but somehow manage to accrue tens of millions of dollars in net worth while they are in that position.
So the reason why this is all happening, why Trump and Musk so clearly were acting and giving Musk this authority to run this DOGE, this government efficiency, why Trump was trusting it, Elon Musk was acting as it, but now they're trying to walk it back. You know, very similar to what they always do. January 6th, we all saw with our own eyes, but Trump tried to say it was just a Capitol tour and a peaceful rally, right? The audacity, Trump's audacity to lie despite the fact that we see it with our own eyes continues. And this is a perfect example of that. The reason why they're trying to walk it back is because of these two lawsuits, one filed in Maryland and one filed in DC. And this declaration from the White House was specifically filed in DC. The states are the ones that are filing in DC. The USAID anonymous employees are the one filing in Maryland. Their claims are the same, which is essentially Elon Musk has way too much power to be doing what he is without getting confirmed by the Senate, because the Senate has to confirm officers, even inferior officers. And Musk is certainly acting with so much power, not just a simple employee. And so how he's acting without any appointment or confirmation is a violation of the Appointments Clause of the Constitution. I have another video that goes into this, a little bit more of a deep dive into the complaint, but that's their essential argument, calling out, yes, Justice Clarence Thomas, who thought even Jack Smith needed to be confirmed by the Senate. Surely Elon Musk is acting with a lot more power and authority and discretion than Jack Smith. So this is the two lawsuits, and the one in DC having to do with Judge Chutkan. She drew that case, interestingly enough. So the White House filed a declaration, which is basically a statement under oath. And it was Joshua Fisher, who is the director of Office of Administration. And he's saying that Musk is an employee of the White House office, that he holds that position as a non-career special government employee, which allows them to it means that you can only have a certain amount of days that you can work in a year. And then you don't have to have the same disclosure rules, which, with Elon Musk, with all of his conflict of interest, of course, wants something like that. And it says in that job, Mr. Musk is a senior advisor to the president. It is not uncommon for the president to have senior advisors who are special government employees. For instance, Anita Dunn was an influential senior advisor to President Biden while serving as a special government employee. Do you all remember who Anita Dunn was? Yeah, I don't think so, because she's clearly did not act forward-facing to the public with as a fraction or anything close to the kind of authority Elon Musk is acting to the public. The irony here is that this whole DOGE is supposed to be about, getting rid of fraud, right? Getting rid of corruption. Trump himself says that this is all about maximal transparency. And on his X site, you can see post after post where he's clearly running DOGE. He asks questions like, should I fire this employee, right? Or should we raid the IRS? He takes credit for things that DOGE does all the time. The amount of DOGE posts he has is like unbelievable, the amount of posts he has. So this transparency unit, Musk is clearly acting and telling essentially the American public, I'm in charge. You should feel confident actually because I'm in charge. And there's a lot of people who think that he's become a billionaire because he's good at what he does. And so they do have faith because it's him, right? So Trump and Musk, whether it's their press conferences or personal statements or Musk acting in public, are acting as if he's in charge. This is the transparency that they're trying to say, right? But then don't believe any of that, according to the White House, because he's not actually an employee of DOGE, they say. He's not the administrator. He's not the employee. He's just a White House senior advisor person. And we should just ignore everything else. The least transparent thing about the fact that DOGE is all supposed to be about transparency is that if we believe this latest declaration, if we suspend the belief in everything we've seen and heard and just take their word for it, we have no idea then who is the administrator of DOGE. This agency that's acting with this incredible amount of power and authority evidently has nobody overseeing it, or if there is somebody, nobody's even mentioned who that is. In fact, disappointingly, I've seen a few mainstream media people try to guess who's the administrator, as if like they can decide. They're trying to fill in the cracks for the White House. The White House has acted like nobody but Elon Musk is in charge. And then some of these papers are throwing names out there. I'm not going to do that work for Trump. If he, in fact, has appointed somebody and withheld that name from the American public, one, he should explain why he has withheld that name from the American public. And two, he needs to give the name himself. I don't understand why anybody who wants to call themselves media outlets are trying to put forward names for him. But that is where we're at, folks. The White House going into court with a declaration under oath, this Joshua Fisher under oath, saying Musk is not involved in DOGE. And we all see real time Musk and Trump acting and telling us. I mean, Trump has told us many times he's the head of DOGE. Musk is the head of DOGE. So then you have to ask yourself, why aren't they trying so hard not to just make Elon Musk official? They evidently have the power of Congress. Why don't you just appoint him and confirm him? They have confirmed a lot of people, the Senate, RFK Jr., Tulsi Gabbard. They seem to be doing the bidding of Trump. Why so many gymnastics to not appoint and confirm Musk? And that needs to be a bigger question. What's behind that? What is really holding them back? This transparent agency that's supposed to be against fraud isn't even willing to do the basic things to make themselves efficient, to make themselves transparent. So that's the latest from Trump's White House, trying to get us to believe the exact opposite of all the things he's been telling us.
I'm Michael Popak, and I got some big news for our audience. Most of you know me as the co-founder of Midas Touch's Legal AF and the Legal AF YouTube channel, or as a 35-year national trial lawyer. Now, building on what we started together on Legal AF, I've launched a new law firm, the Popak Firm, dedicated to obtaining justice through compassionate and zealous legal representation. At the Popak Firm, we are focused on obtaining justice for those who have been injured or damaged by a life-altering event by securing the highest dollar recoveries. I've been tirelessly fighting for justice for the last 35 years, so my own law firm organically building on my Legal AF work just feels right. And I've handpicked a team of top-tier trial fighters and settlement experts throughout all 50 states known as big auto injury attorneys who have the know-how to beat heartless insurance companies, corporations, government entities, and their attorneys. Big Auto's attorneys working with my firm are rock stars in their respective states and collectively responsible for billions of dollars in recoveries. So if you or a loved one have been on the wrong side of a catastrophic auto, motor vehicle, rideshare, or truck accident, suffered a personal injury, or been the victim of medical malpractice, employment harassment or discrimination, or suffered a violation of your civil and constitutional rights, then contact the Popak Firm today at 1-877-POPAK-AF or by visiting my website at www.thepopakfirm.com and fill out a free case evaluation form. And if we determine that you have a case and you sign with us, we don't get paid unless you do. The Popak Firm, fighting for your justice every step of the way.